I messed it up. Not gonna lie to you. I fucked it up. Fucked it up. Bring it up to light. Bring it up to Jimmy, get out of here, please. Stop it. Done. It is over. No fun for you. Or a little bit of fun. Very little bit. Not too much. Go ahead, have fun right now. Go. 1, 2, 3. Everybody have some fun. Now you're done. There's a lot to talk about. There's a lot. There's a lot. And I'm sorry off the bat before we begin anything, before we drop anything, before we say anything, before we do anything, before we do anything. I'm sorry. I know I promised you Cultura before, and before that, but let me tell you, man, doing a Cultura at 1 a.m. when you're on 2 hours of sleep is really hard. This was a rough week. I had some issues with the fam. I had some other stuff to attend to, and I had to finish a project, and I was up all night for the past, 2 weeks, so sorry. Ain't gonna happen. Ain't gonna happen. Wasn't gonna happen. No matter how hard I try. I don't get paid for this. Barely anybody listens. But I know that's not a reason to not do it, which is why I'm doing it today, on the weekend. Plenty of time. 8 p.m. after the game. Which, let me tell you, I was really caught off guard. I thought the game was now at 8 p.m., and it turned out it was at 5 p.m., and that just really threw everything off, and I literally didn't catch the game until the midway, so I don't know, but that's another story. So, what am I going to tell you? Other than, he cultura, he cultura, he cultura, he cultura, da, 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 da. He cultura. He cultura. He cultura. He cultura. He cultura. However you say it, that's how you say it now and forever. I don't make the rules. I just make the rules. I am Studio Mogura. Studio MOGURA. Hit me up at the PayPal. Hit me up at the CashApp. Any donations go toward the making of my independent film. And by that, I mean if you donate enough money to me that I could survive, that means I could quit my goddamn job and actually give you the animation. That's the problem right now. I got no time for that shit. So I'm trying to find money so that I can use that money to take care of the shit that I don't have to worry about, so I can just focus on that. Because that shit is so much work for one person to undertake. And I even doing it a little bit of a time, it's really hard for me. So if you can donate, that would help a lot. Also remember, all donations, you get your name in the end credits of whatever picture you donate for, whether it be for my films or whether it be for the animation. You will get your name in the end credits, and you will get producer credit. Think about that. Also check out Full Moon Nights, available on Amazon and Barnes & Noble. My book, self-published by me, done by me, edited by me, everything's done by me. With the help of my sister as an editor. She edited it. My sister and my brother-in-law, thank you very much for editing it and reading it, twice. But check it out. It's a chronicle of the Miami rave scene in the early 2000s. Basically, my adventures as a raver growing up. Kind of took a bunch of my stories and put it all together. And by the time I had finished the story and I already wrote the script and I started writing the book, I realized, you know what? I kind of fucked this up. I should have when I was originally writing the story, I was like, I didn't want it to be just this one chronicle adventure. I didn't really think that, I was going to make 3 books out of it or anything like that. I just figured, this is going to be my raver story, so let me just get all my best things that happened to me and put it all together. So that's basically what it is, in the hopes that you would kind of get an understanding of what this place was like. But know that the part where I'm in the rave, that's the rave. So please check that out. Scoop the soft cover on Amazon and the hardcover on Barnes & Noble. Also check out octotaku.com, which is my blog and my comic shop. Also check out my TeePublic. And I just realized that I'm missing the QR code for for El Topo, for my Spotify playlist. So that you could check out my entire discography on Spotify, going back from 1999 to my last release in 2023, with the album called The Reflection Binds You from Seeing the Truth. You can also check out, as you can see now, I have the Bandcamp link on there. So just go to that Bandcamp link and you can buy my music directly from me rather than stream it. And at the same time, you can stream it from the page too. You know, like they put the whole track on there. These people, what the fuck? But so you can stream it off of fucking a Bandcamp, you know, and be an asshole, or you can just buy it off a Bandcamp and be a nice guy, you know, for real cheap, for $5. That's all it is. Okay, so check that out. So yeah, so we are in it, and now we begin it, and I don't know. We are so far 4-1 in the last 5 since the All-Star break. We are 5 games into this 7-game stretch, and technically, being at 4-1, if this was a 7-game series, we would have won this already. So this essentially this stretch of 7 games is a successful stretch of 7 games so far. We could lose the next 2 and still be kind of technically okay because we won already this series at 4-1. 5 games in, we won 4 out of 5. That's a typical series where the Denver game essentially was the game that the team we're going up against plays their best to beat us. And that's what happened. That's how we got to look at it. I'm not looking at it that way. I'm looking at it a way completely different, which I'm going to get to in a second. But I'm trying to get you to get your first step onto this golden path, so to speak, so that you can know that the Miami Heat will survive this in the end. Now, I have a little bit of spice in front of me that I have been consuming all day long. And I have taken a bit of the worm juice. So I can try and foresee the future now. And all I can tell you is the thing that we want to say and want the general public to believe is that this was a successful 7 games. We won enough games. We beat enough teams, especially teams from the West, which is a real pain in the ass for us sometimes. But in order to look further into this vision, I must consume some more spice. Specifically, 28% spice, deep space, number 6. For the spice extends life, and the spice expands consciousness. Now, I ask you again, as we look deeper and further into our minds, into our souls, was this a successful stretch of games? When you couldn't beat the best? We didn't beat the best of the West. We beat the lower tier of the best of the West. But against the team that's pretty much the favorite to win it all again, we lost. We absolutely lost. And yes, I know, finally, I'm sorry. I explained it already in the beginning. There was a lot going on this week. It was a tough one. It was tough. And these 10 o'clock games were just... Que se vaya pa'l carajo con the fucking 10 o'clock games. Get the fuck out of here with that bullshit. I don't need that shit in my life. Okay? Do you need that shit in your life? No, you don't. Nobody needs that shit in their life. Okay? Make the people out west wake up earlier. Make them work in the darkness. So, going back to our journey deep into the sand. Do you see what I see? After you have drank some of the worm juice and eaten some of the spice. Well, technically in this case, smoked it. We're going to smoke some more spice. Let's smoke some more spice. Breathe in the spice so that you can see the future. And the future of this is somewhat cloudy, dark. there is some light at the end that we can't see. Because we get sparks, and we have Alizam Al-Gaib in Butler Al-Gaib. We have Muad'Dib in Jimmy Muad'Dib. He can and will lead us to the promised land, because basically there's nobody else. But more so, because he can do it, and we've seen him do it. There are signs. We've seen the signs. It's been long enough. He joined Cultura. He joined Miami Heat years ago. He joined the Fremen years ago. He's part of this tribe. He now leads this tribe. He leads us. He led us last year. He's led us all the times before, since he's gotten here. And we trust him. We trust in Uso. Jimmy. But I worry when we can't beat the best. This was a successful road trip in that we are 5 games in after the All-Star game, and out of 5 games, we are 4-1. If this was a series, we would have won the series. But this was a series, if you really want to think about it, against the lower tier of the West. So that's what we learned, that we could beat the lower tier of the West. So technically in the East, we're probably the mid right now. Right now, as we are building power, as we are building strength, as we have flipped the switch into our consciousness so we can see like the space guys, space guilders people, you know, the big floating thing with the weird eyes and the smoke out of its mouth. That looks like kind of like a gerbil without its skin. So Pat Riley's like a gerbil without his skin. No, Pat Riley's like Pat Riley's not the emperor. Definitely not. He's like, you know, Stilgar. No, that's gotta be Spo. Spo is Stilgar. Pat Riley is like the master guy that teaches Jimmy. There you go. Okay, he's got the hair. White hair. That's what we do. Slick back. That's how we do it. We still have to finish this 7-game stretch out, because we can't risk losing this momentum. Okay? We got to make sure that we can still at this time in the year, beat the teams that we got to beat. So we got Pistons next, which let me tell you, we better win that game. What the fuck? We're going to lose that game? After all of this, bro, come on, this stretch of games, we're going to lose that game? No, we better not. And more importantly, that's another home game, which we got to clean the F up. I don't know what's going on with home. It's not like before where people come down here and, you know, and maybe that's what happens when you try and, you know, make South Beach a little too pristine. You want to make it too corporate, you know, looking for the money and looking for like, oh, I want to just make this a giant mall. When you do that, you take away all that stuff that used to help out the Heat. Because it doesn't seem to be working this year. You know? Where's that South Beach flu? Ain't nobody got it right now. Because people are coming in here and it's more like it's too pleasurable for these guys. You know, I'm watching the Jazz play today, and it looks like these guys got like really nice massages before the game. Super loose, super chill. What are we doing? Where are our allies in this city? Spotting out the players on opposing teams. You know, getting them to stay a little bit longer at the club. Getting them to spend a little bit more money on alcohol. You know, surrounding them with a couple more, like, strippers and stuff. Like, I'm serious. I mean, that's how a city wins a championship. Go ask the Big Three. You don't think this was the hottest place to be during that time? That's why I always go back to how like Miami has had these moments of like really being like the hot spot as especially for electronic dance music. And like 2006, now that I think about it, that was a really big time. That had to be because when I came out, I really mostly remember 2003 because I have that documented. But I know that 2003 was like the start of it. But like in the middle between 2003 and 2010, that's like where like oh man, like this city was really popping as far as like the drum and bass scene goes, as far as the electronic dance music goes, rave scene, party scene, the club scene, all that kind of stuff. That was really popping. And you know what? Who won in 2006? He won in 2006. That was the first time they won the title. And at that time, a lot of people were coming down to Miami because it's Miami. Bring out the stars. We're the only other place outside of like L.A. and New York where you consistently see like you'll see some stars like on in other courts and stuff like that just because I guess they live there, if they live there or if they're in town. But for the most part, it's not going to be as consistent as you see it here in Miami, you see it here in New York, or you see it in L.A. And that's the triangle. That's the Trinity of America. It's really important to finish this off because we're gonna have the Mavericks. We're going to Dallas, and then we're gonna have. It's just weird because it's hard for me to still accept the fact that like the Thunder is good. It really is. I'm sorry. Is that my fault? Am I wrong for that? That like I see the Thunder and I'm like, so? Like who's on the what is it? I don't know. Is that bad? I think that it's gotta be bad, right? But who cares? Because that's how I feel. And I'm sure that's how you feel too. I know that's how you feel. We all feel that way. Look at the Thunder. Really? Is Kevin Durant still on the team? No. Okay, then we're moving on. Do you know anybody out there? No. Okay, we're moving on. How are they number 2? I don't know. They just are. Timberwolves. They got that guy. I guess. Sure. Do you have any like confidence that he's gonna be the guy at the end? Come on, tell me right now in front of everyone and God in the world. Do you think that the Timberwolves are going to make the NBA Finals? Do you think the Thunder are going to make the NBA Finals? Or is it going to be Nuggets, Golden State? I don't know. I'm just going with, what kind of makes sense. And I know we should be like giving these teams more praise and we should be putting these teams like giving them respect because we, the Heat, constantly demand the respect and we are constantly crying about nobody respects us and all this kind of shit and blah 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 and Bam should be a fucking all-star starter and blah 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 blah. Yet we have very little respect for teams like Thunder and very little respect for anybody who basically isn't the Nuggets and Golden State. And maybe sometimes the Lakers if LeBron and Anthony Davis are healthy. I don't know. Because I say that thinking we should win that game. And I know should I think that? They have a way better record than us. And it's the West. So a number 2 team in the West is like a number 1 team here in the East. So we're going to have to definitely try and finish this 7-game stretch out so we can reload and then we're going to begin again at the Thunder. So at the Thunder is where the next 7 starts. Because we're at 5 now. After the All-Star break, we're going to hit up the Pistons, and then we're going to hit up the Mavericks. And the Mavericks is going to be a big game as well. That's just probably going to be game of the night kind of deal. I don't know. But I think it'd be more important we got to also figure out it's going to be a back-to-back, man, with Mavericks and Thunder. That's not going to be easy, man. That's going to be a big test for the Heat. I mean, this was a huge test already, losing to the freaking Nuggets, man. That was like us going full blast at them. And, like, the reason I kind of talked about Jimmy like that and I was kind of emphasizing him as, like, our Muad'Dib and our leader, Messiah or whatever, is because he is, and it's not Terry Rozier, okay? So please, Terry Rozier, pass the goddamn fucking ball more. Because that's why we lost against the Nuggets. Because literally, Jimmy Butler had one shot in the fourth quarter. Why? Because Terry Rozier took every shot. I appreciate you coming in here and trying to like fit in, but you know what? And you have some plays. But he's got to minimize his plays. He's got to make sure he's got to condense it. So he has a lot of plays and he has a lot of bad plays and a lot of good plays. And right now he's got to make more good plays than bad plays, and he's got to pass that fucking ball. Because look at how he passes the ball. When he gets Jimmy involved, when he gets other people involved, then it works. But when he hogs the fucking shit to himself, which it's been a long time since we've seen that on this team. Because not even Lowry really kind of hogged the ball, I felt. Like, Lowry would try and take over when other people were just dang running shit. But then the bad part is that Lowry still wouldn't make anything. But it wasn't like what we saw, or at least what I saw in the Nuggets game, where the ball was just totally dominated in the fourth quarter by Terry Rozier, and it was just really frustrating. Because he was just like, he would get some momentum and then cause a really big fuck up that kind of like would give up 4 points in the fucking return. So and it's tough because he had plays, but you know what? Like, a broken clock is gonna be right once a day. That's how I was looking at it. He's like, if you're gonna handle the ball that much, of course at some point you're gonna make something. I would hope. But there was a big difference between how he played the Nuggets and how he played today. And thank God he started like playing. Thank God that he started like, okay, let me just try and get this thing going. Because we were stagnant all game. We should not have been like toe-to-toe. I mean, I get the teams come out and they play hard. Everybody's going to play hard, but we should have really controlled this game. I feel at least like mid-third quarter, we should have really started to control it. Like, show that, hey, we can really kind of like, we can take this one over. And we really didn't. We really didn't until like way late. And whatever, man. We're riding the snake. Okay? That's what we're doing. And that's just, you just gotta tell yourself in the middle of these things where you don't know what team showed up today. It doesn't matter. Because either way, we're riding the snake, man. We are riding the snake or the worm for some of you. We are fucking riding that shit straight through the desert. Straight through North Miami Beach. I think we need more spice. But I didn't make any more coffee like how they do in Dune 1, where everybody spits into this like little kind of like little box machine and the guy drops like the little concentrated coffee, and that's how they have coffee. That's kind of what we did, because this coffee's been sitting here all day long, and it's pretty much just backwash. Whatever. Oh yeah, let's have some more spice. I mean, and this was a good. I don't want to like shit on this fucking. We've been doing great. We've been doing great. I mean, look, we'll go like that Pelicans win was big. Although it was a fucking shit show, whatever, it was big. It was a good start. Coming back from All-Star break, we had to hit the ground running. The win in Sacramento was even bigger. Because Sacramento is, I feel, a team that's very... It's like almost a mirror match for Sacramento, for us. Very similar team. They always play us hard. We always beat them. They play us hard. And the Trailblazers, that was almost an even bigger win because we were down so much. And that's an easy game that we could have been like, you know what, fuck this, because it's a back-to-back. We had the Nuggets coming back, and we were like, you know what? No, we're going to fucking win this shit. And we won that shit. That, to me, told me a lot about this team. And that gave us plenty of time to come to Nuggets and get ready for them. So we came out in that Nuggets game, and that was a great game. But for the most part, the Nuggets handled us most of the game. Let's be real here. We got to be real here. We speak truth here, for the most part. It's spice-induced truth, but it's still truth to us. But you feel me. It's quality wins, man. You can't get away from that. And even this one tonight was a quality win because we were like a little bit slipping. But we still got our shit together in the end, and we proved, okay, no, we got to flip that switch again. And again, like going back, the real difference with this game is that Rozier got people involved, which is what he needs to do. That's his thing. I worry that the Pistons game, we're going to drop that shit, but no way, man. We got to come in there. We got to win this game. We got to win all these games, man. These are all winnable fucking games, and these are all games that we should just run through everybody right now. You know, but what would you give? Would you give up all those wins for a win against the Nuggets? Would you give up all those riches for just one win in battle? Would you? You have all these great things, but you don't have that one thing that we know will strike fear into everyone. A win against the best. Milwaukee's not the best. 76ers aren't the best. We don't have a win against the Nuggets, and we don't have a win against the Celtics. I understand this is still preseason, so to speak, and the regular season is coming right up soon. And once we start that, with all my heart and everything that I have to give, I believe in our Jimmy Muad'Dib. Listen up, Kaib. But shit, man, you know, it would really help if we kind of like fucking beat the Celtics once, at least, maybe. I mean, we're like kind of fucking, I think we play them one more fucking time, and that would just be like a little bit like, you know. But the reality is that we don't play them again for the rest of the season. They already beat the fucking shit out of us. We're done. So we haven't beat them. But we do play the Nuggets at home Wednesday, the 13th, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the planet Earth. Is that the biggest game of the fucking year? From here on out? Because we'll play Golden State here. We play the Pelicans. We play the Cavaliers a bunch. We still have to play the Pistons. We play the Raptors twice at the end of the year. Who gives a shit about that? Play the Hawks, but I don't think they got Trae Young, so they're going to be out. We still have to play the Knicks one more time. We have a nice stretch, but still, it's not going to be totally easy. I mean, we play like really good Eastern Conference. We play the Cavs twice. We got to make sure that we stomp the 76ers because we play them twice. These are games that we got to win. Would you give up all these wins for a win against the Nuggets at home? I don't know. That's the question that we have to ask ourselves. But we have to wonder. We can hang with anybody. We can hang with the best. That's not a question. That's not the question that plagues our mind. Can we beat the best? And there's only two. There is only two. And one of them we didn't. And the other we only have one more shot at before the regular season starts. And you know what I mean by the regular season, right? Because if you don't, go listen to the other shows, podcasts. Available on Apple Podcasts and available on Spotify Podcasts. Cultura. Check it out. 3 seasons. I know this is supposed to be episode 60. Can you believe that? 60. But it's really not, because we haven't done every single episode, because it's just life, motherfucker. This guy has to work and shit, and fucking it's like, you know, it's a lot of work, and it's a lot of shit talk, and it's like this, and we're doing this, and working on this shit, and trying to get this pitch, and that pitch, and trying to finish this shit, and trying to finish that shit, and gotta go to work. It's a lot, bro. I'm lucky enough just to catch the goddamn games. But at least we got a nice amount of Cultura this year. I think we got a nice amount. And I'm gonna try, man. You better believe that fucking playoffs, I'm doing a Cultura every fucking one. Get the fuck out of here. Until we get knocked. No. When we get knocked out, that we do the last one, and that's how we do it. That's a tradition. Whenever we get knocked out, that's the last Cultura. That's how you do it. But until then, I'm really gonna try to get one every single fucking time. It's just really this 10 o'clock bullshit was crap. And from here on out, we got no more 10 o'clock fucking games. So fuck that shit. So we're good. No more 10 o'clock games. No more 10 o'clock games. Fuck that. No more 10 o'clock games. Okay? So we're gonna, you know what I mean? One of those. We're gonna do it. It's like the sound you make to the baby sandworms. And you drown it. Spoiler alert. I don't know, man. I don't know what to tell you, bro. Like, I don't really mind spoiler alert with that shit, because, you know, the movie came out in 84, and 84 in this one, same story. A lot of same shots, a lot of same lines. Some things different, some things not. Some things better, some things not. Like that for Dune 2. It's like amazing cinematic fucking experience that people were like, oh my god, it's changing my life. Is that? That's the review by fucking Siskel and Ebert, when they're like, fucking Siskel, you know, give us the word of movie god. Is this movie good? That. I don't know, man. The path is laid out in front of us for us to become worm people, or a worm god emperor. You can see it. It leads to keep his king. The back-to-back is going to be very important. I mean, those are that if we can win those back-to-back, that might put some, you know, might make you feel better. But again, what happens if we win all these games but we still lose against the Nuggets? Gotta learn how to beat that team. And we gotta learn how to beat the team more than once. And we gotta learn to beat the team not just here at home. We're fucked with the Celtics because we don't get another shot at those people, and they feel good. You know they feel good if they go against us, because they swept us this year. So they're in their own mindset and in their own cinematic universe. They're like, oh, we'll beat them. But at the same time, I got to imagine that Jason Tatum has, at this point, realized that he has to approach this a different way. And I kind of want to say that that's what they're doing right now, is that they're like apparently just chucking up like 1,000,000 threes per game, and they're just playing the statistics. They got some. They're gonna make more threes than you, and that's something that the Heat, or Spoelstra just can't bring himself to do. Like we're shooting more threes, of course, than ever before, but it's. I feel it's still not enough. I feel it's still we're not making enough. Like our guys are still coming up short more often than not, and for all the good that Duncan Robinson's done, it's like, on all the good that we like to see, that, oh yeah, he's driving more, oh yeah, he's doing more, oh yeah, is this, oh yeah, he's becoming an all-around player, blah, 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 blah. No. Hero is the all-around player. And speaking of Hero, where the fuck is he at? He should have been fucking playing tonight. How bad was that knee? Was it really this bad? It's this bad that he has it. Terry Rozier, like, died on the court. And he's back. Hero was standing up the other night, I think. I saw him. What's going on? Anybody else drink the worm juice? Tell me. I don't know. Achata. So, what are we looking forward to? We just want to survive this motherfucker. Because right now, shit's tight. Just like that, man. We were like at the 5 spot, ready to kind of take over, ready to be there, and then guess what? Boom! Even with this win tonight, we dropped down to 7. Seven of 3 in the last 10. Not enough. Just not enough. We had an opportunity to. That's why the Nuggets game was really big. We get that Nuggets game, and we're still in the thick of it. Losing that Nuggets game, boom, look how far it dropped us. And I'm gonna be straight with you. The Pacers team is not. They're not bad. This guy came out of All-Star game and that guy's a madman. So, in a playoff setting, those are people that like get hot and play. I mean, we already saw it. They went to the NIT thing, whatever the fuck it was. But even that shit didn't matter. Nobody gives a fuck about that. So, I don't know. I don't know why they did that. It's so stupid. To be honest with you, nobody remembers it. Nobody remembers it. It was just, it's pointless. Absolutely pointless. I don't know. It's gonna be tough this season. It's not gonna be easy, man. And I mean, we might as well call Jimmy Butler a messiah if somehow we're able to win this, because I mean we're number 7 right now, so we're in the same. It's a repeat of last year, absolutely. Like we should have been moving up, couldn't beat the best team, couldn't prove that hey, you know what, we can beat a really good team. So now, okay, this is where we're at, and we're gonna float around this area unless everybody else starts losing. That's what's got to happen. Is other teams got to start losing, man, more than they've already started losing. Well, that's tough. So I don't know, but we can definitely chip into the Cavs. We've got what, 2? Was it 2? It was 2, right, for the 76ers? Yeah, we got 2 to take away from the Sixers, and we got 1 to take away from the Knicks. And then 1 to take away from the Pacers. Are we going to win those games? Those are the games to win. We got to win those games, for sure. But then I don't like to look at like the NBA like, oh, you gotta beat the specific teams. It doesn't matter at this point. You know, you just gotta win games. Yeah, what matters in the NBA is the record. You know, because we're not even worried about the standing as far as, oh, are we gonna win our division? Like, we don't give a fuck. There's no division. Fuck the divisions in the goddamn fuck that shit. Yeah, and keep the divisions just so you know you play a consistent amount of teams against people and build rivalries and stuff. But for the most part, I'm ready for the division to kind of like shift very like every year. Like, oh, we're. I mean, I know that that's what they do. Like, we play other teams, but I don't really see the merit in playing. I guess I really shouldn't say that. I really should say, like, no, we do see the merit in playing Atlanta like 4 times, playing people in the Southeast Division like that, you know, playing Charlotte. And it's just that those teams are, you know, they're trying their hearts out. We were like that at some point. So it's just, you know, look at me talking like we're number one. We're number 8 right now, so we're trying our hearts out. We're hoping not to, like, you know, die at the end. So it's just, you know, but still, I feel like maybe we should try and see if we, because the whole thing about the NBA is the whole entire Eastern standing. It's not necessarily like, oh, you're standing in the South or you got to win this division and then you winning this division puts you in this. But no, it doesn't. The division doesn't matter anymore. It's just about the standing you are in the overall conference. So at that point, I mean, what's going on here? I really would prefer not to have to deal with the play-in game. Like, I don't know if this team plays better just if they don't stop playing. Maybe they do. But I would like to just get, you know, we've talked about this before. Okay, we've already gone over this, so I know it's like repeating. It's all about getting in healthy. This team has to be at 100% going into the playoffs. If this team is not 100%, and any one of their key players going into the playoffs is not 100%, it's going to be really tough. It doesn't matter what happens afterward. What matter, because we've seen it. We've seen we lose guys in right in the beginning. But when we went into the playoffs last season, we were everyone, single being, entity, mind, body, and soul, 100%. That's a big deal. That's a big deal. It's a big deal. Where are we at? What's going on? I've been here just jabbing her away like a psycho. 50 more minutes. 54. That's good. You know? I know this is not a long one. And I know I should have more to talk about because, you know, we were gone for such a long time. But, you know, there's a lot to take in. And really, ultimately, if you listen to the last podcast, we talked about it, how, like, winning all these games is fine. It's great. It would help. Sure. Thank you very much. We need it because we got to win games. We got to start making a push. But the most important game in this entire stretch was that Denver game. We really needed to win that game to prove to ourselves we can win a game like that. Because it's not just about proving it so that we can, you know, tell ourselves, oh, we're going to make it into the playoffs and we can win in the playoffs and we can win a tough game in the playoffs. No. Like, we want to know that we can beat the best in the toughest situation. Because that's ultimately what kills us. We either lose to the best in Denver in the toughest situation, or we lose to the Celtics in the toughest situation. Sometimes not even in the toughest situation. Sometimes we just lose the Celtics and it's like, yo, we had everything in our pocket and we fucked it up. So it's really weird with them. But that's what a rivalry is. Rivalries are like that. But we gotta know that. You know, can we beat Denver? What if we face them again in the fucking championship? And look at me talking about championship. We're number 8. That's crazy. People would say I'm like, you know, insane. And I would tell you it is written. As it is written. We'll be here. And we'll be back. Yeah, we'll see you Tuesday for sure, 7:30 p.m. March 5th. Definitely be back for that Pistons game. That should be. I mean, that's a scary game because we can't be dropping games right now. It's too cluttered, and we gotta somehow make some kind of separation because if not, then we're gonna be cluttered, and like one loss could fuck us over. And I don't really want to deal with that stress and anxiety. And this team shouldn't have to deal with that stress and anxiety. This team is above that stress and anxiety. At this point, this team is not an 8 team. We know it. Stop disguising yourself like an 8. And start playing like you know who you could play, which is like at least a 2 or 3 seed. Like, we could play like that. But we just consistently, all right, fine. Why? No, go out there, get it. Put people away early, man. Bring out that bench early. This time, man. It's time. It's time. It's no more to be like, oh well, maybe we got a couple more games. No, we really don't. We really don't. We really don't have a couple more games. I mean, we have a couple more games, but we really don't. You know what I mean? I know what you know. I believe. I do. But I also worry. I can't help it. You know? I can't help it. And we hit the Pistons up 3 times in the next couple of weeks, so that's gonna be weird. That's always weird because you play the same team a lot like that. I don't know why it seems like that for the last couple of years. Or there's so many moments where we play the same team like in such jumbled kind of like, I don't know. It's weird. I don't know why it's been like that for a while. Should we just commit to like a specific schedule, like, or do we have to? I guess we do have to change it because of other circumstances, but. And of course, because time evolves and time goes forward, and every day and every year is different, you know? What the fuck? I don't know. But I do know this. The Heat are okay. We see signs. We know who our leader is. And we know the path ahead of us. We just gotta walk it. We just gotta walk the path. You know, we just gotta have no fear. Fear is the mind killer. We can do that. We can make it to the start of the regular season and finally begin the true journey and the true path of this team. Cultura. 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 However you say it, that's how you say it now and forever. I don't make the rules. I just make the rules. I am Studio Mogura, Studio MOGURA. Please, for the love of God, hit me up at the PayPal, at the Cash App. Throw some bucks to the studio, man. We need that shit. We need a new floor. We need to fix the AC. And it's just an industrial AC. That shit's expensive as fuck. And the fam can't afford it. So right now I'm pitching like crazy Afilador. I'm pitching like crazy Full Moon Nights. I'm pitching like crazy The Strategist. I'm pitching like crazy the Shannon and on the animations and shit. See if I can get fucking money so that we can actually produce these projects and update the studio. That's the goal. So if you know anybody that wants to be an executive producer of a Miami-based animation film studio in Miami with their own studio space, I mean, hit us up. That's what we're looking for. So yeah, so please donate. All donations go toward the making of my independent film and my independent animated pilot, and all donations get their name in the IMDb listing as a producer and on the end credits as a producer. Check out my book, Full Moon Nights, available on Amazon, available on Barnes & Noble for the hardcover. chronicle of the Miami rave scene in the early 2000s, a jumble of my adventures into one crazy adventure where I talk about the greatest rave that ever took place in Miami, Full Moon Nights. Check that out. Also, check out octutaku.com, which is my personal blog and my personal comic shop. I've got stuff laid out. I know. I got to get to it. I will. But check it out. Also, check out my TeePublic. I've got a lot of great designs, including the official Cultura t-shirt, which is available on TeePublic, so please grab that, as well as other designs that I have, and it's the most popular one that I have is the Dan Le Batard Hitchcock kind of profile design, which I really appreciate anybody that buys that. Thank you so much. The money really goes, it really helps a lot. It's only $4, but it still helps a lot. You have no idea. So please check that out. And then I gotta put the thing out, but check out my Spotify playlist, El Topo, or PMCRW, PM Crew. And you can check out my entire discography from 1999 up until the last year, 2023, with my latest release, The Reflection Binds You from Seeing the Truth. Or check out, as you can see, the website for Bandcamp, my Bandcamp, where you can buy my tracks and my albums directly. And when you buy it on Bandcamp, all the money directly goes to me. That's why I'm putting them up to Bandcamp. And that's why I guess I didn't put it up to Spotify, because we're trying. Although Spotify is the easiest way to make me money, man. It's just that you got to listen to that shit a lot, bro. Like 6 million streams from Vietnam only cost me $200. Thank you, Vietnam. Forever in our hearts. Banh mi for life. But can you beat Vietnam? I don't know. Because Vietnam came through with 6 million streams, $200. You know what that went? To a new battery in my car. Thank you, Vietnam. Where are you? United States of America. I've given you 40 plus of my life to you. Where are you? I don't know. But Vietnam is here. Supporting. 6 million streams. Thank you, Vietnam. We love you. El Topo. So please check that out. And we'll be back here Tuesday after the Pistons game. And, hopefully this continues, man. But I still, like I said, that Denver game was really important to me. I felt it was really important to this team. And today was an important win, because if we would have lost this game against the Jazz, I think it would have sent us kind of on a tailspin. And winning against the Jazz still proves, hey, look, we are a good team, and we can win, and we can compete. We just need something for the Nuggets. And which, let me tell you, man, I really think, I don't understand why we don't play the fucking Nuggets like how we play Milwaukee. Because we play fucking Milwaukee, and we build up fucking walls around Giannis. And that shit fucks him up all the fucking time. And we did, last time we played Milwaukee that we whipped their asses, like, we did some crazy ass wall shit with them. Like, we were blocking him in and trapping him, and it was all crazy shit. But when we played the Nuggets, we didn't fucking do any of that. We did nothing of that. Instead, we gave it to Terry Rozier and be like, hey, Terry, you missed a couple games, here you go. Have some fun. Win it for us. The hell was that? I don't know, man. I'm sorry. I should have said this before, but I don't know. I don't know. Are we gonna bring that back? Should I bring back the I don't know? Check out season 1. Check out season 1 for the I don't know. And then you know what the I don't know is. And then once you know what the I don't know is, let me know if we should bring back the I don't know. You know what I mean? Hey, Cultura. Don't freak out. Just freak out.